It's important to drink water and not just coffee all the time. People often say that there's 12 Greek gods, and that's not true. There's just 12 seats on Mount Olympus. I'm going to give you a brief lowdown on main 16 deities. Number 1 is Zeus. He's the king of the heavens. His weapon of choice is a lightning bolt, and his animal is the eagle. He'll fuck anything that moves. He's the original fuckboy. Number 2 is Poseidon. He's the god of the seas. His weapon of choice is the trident, but he can also cause earthquakes. He's associated with any sea life, but he invented the horse, so that's also his animal. Hades is the ruler of the underworld. He's not the god of death, and he doesn't kill people. He's just in charge of them after they die. He's usually the villain in mythology movies, but he's actually one of the more chill gods in the Greek pantheon. It's probably just because death is easy to make a villain. He has a helmet that can turn him invisible, and he has a 3-headed dog named Cerberus or Cerberus, which is basically Greek for Spot. The god of the underworld has a dog named Spot. Hestia was the firstborn and therefore the last coughed up by Cronus. She's the goddess of the hearth and home, as well as virgins, but there's more than one virgin goddess. She's probably the most chill deity. Her animals are donkeys and pigs. Hera is the wife of Zeus, which doesn't mean a lot to him, but it makes her the queen of the heavens. Her animal is the peacock because one time this guy Argus, who had a shit ton of eyes, was covering for Zeus while he was banging another girl. So Hera turned him into a peacock, which is why peacock feathers look like they have eyes on them. She's the goddess of marriage as well, which I guess is just a sick joke. Demeter is the last of the original 6. Not in birth order, just in my order. She's the goddess of agriculture. Her Latin name is Ceres, which is where we get the word cereal. She's usually depicted holding wheat in art. Number 7 is her daughter, Persephone. She doesn't have her own seat, she just sits on her mother's lap, except in the winter when she's too busy being the goddess of the underworld. I'm probably going to do a video separately for her main myth because there's a lot of different interpretations, so I want to take time on it. But one thing I am going to say right now is that she needs to come back from the underworld because it is March 27th and it is snowing outside. Number 8 is Apollo. He's the god of the sun and music and medicine and poetry. He's also a fuckboy. He's often seen holding a lyre, which is like a small harp, and his weapon of choice is bow and arrow. Number 9 is Artemis, who's Apollo's much cooler twin sister. She was actually born first, so I probably should have put her first, but whatever. She's the virgin goddess of the moon and the hunt. She's often depicted in art with deer, and her weapon of choice is also the bow and arrow. She's my favorite, so I'm probably going to do some of her myths in other videos. Number 10 is Hermes. He's the god of travelers and thieves. He's the messenger of the gods, and he has helmet and sandals with wings on them, so he can travel really fast. He's often seen carrying this thing called a caduceus, if I'm pronouncing that right. He uses it to lead the dead to the underworld and is now often associated with hospitals. Aphrodite is the goddess of love, sometimes beauty, and even happiness. She just kind of came out of the sea foam in a clamshell. Her animal is the dove, and she's often associated with an apple. Ares is the god of war and often associated with anger and violence and bloodshed. His weapon of choice is the spear. Eris is Ares' sister. I guess all the gods are related in one way or the other, but I bring that up because they have similar personalities. Eris is the goddess of strife and discord. In fact, her Latin name is Discordia. She's not really one of the main deities, but she does kind of start the Trojan War. So I felt she'd be important to mention if I go back to talking about the Trojan War. Athena is also the goddess of war, but her two main things are war and wisdom, so she's more the tactical side of warfare. Her animal is the owl, and she was born wearing full armor, so that's how she's depicted in art. Hephaestus is the only ugly god. He's the god of the forge, and he makes all the weapons and armor for the other gods. His Latin name was Vulcan, which is where we get the word volcano, because that's where his forge was. It's also why in Star Trek the planet Vulcan has a lot of volcanoes. The last one I'm going to talk about is Dionysus. He is the son of Zeus and a mortal, but the mortal wanted Zeus to prove that he really was a god, because as revenge for Zeus and this mortal cheating, Hera planted doubt in her mind. So Zeus showed his true form, but mortals can't handle seeing that, so she died. And so Zeus took the fetus that would become Dionysus out of her, and he put it in his thigh, and then he later gave thigh birth to Dionysus, so that's why he's a full god instead of a half god. So he got to come up to Mount Olympus, but all the chairs were already taken, so Hestia was like, hey, you can just have my chair, I'll just hang out by the fire, because that's her thing. So, that's all the main, those are the big ones. I'll put a chart here showing which ones actually have chairs in Olympus, the 12 that have chairs, and then the other ones. There you go, those are the basics.